Welcome everyone to another week of the Focus TV. I'm Octavia Wyatt here, Cardinal Dudley Jr., Raymond Lyons, Leek Miller, Wilson Tarpey Jr. They're gonna get straight to it. Octavia, your division on I felt like all y'all's games was on prime time on this holiday weekend. That said, what happened over there?
Yeah, it really was. Everybody's game was pretty much in a slightly primetime spot. Uh, no, actually, everybody's was. Dallas on Thanksgiving, Philly on Black Friday, the Commanders Sunday night, and the Giants Monday night. And we have some more national televised games coming up this week for the division, but all did not fare well in their nationally televised games except for one team. But it will not be the team that I'm starting with, obviously. So the Philadelphia Eagles fell to the Chicago Bears 24-15. Jalen Hurts was 19 of 34, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 4 carries for 3 yards. Saquon Barkley had 13 carries for 56 yards, and A.J. Brown had 10 receptions for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. Caleb Williams was 17 of 36, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 5 carries for 13 yards. Kyle Monogny, 22 carries, 130 yards, 1 touchdown. DeAndre Smith had 18 carries for 125 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 reception for 13 yards. And Cole Kmet had 3 receptions for 36 yards and 1 touchdown. It was a thorough ass whooping, to be fair. The Philadelphia Eagles hadn't allowed a 100-yard rusher the entire season, and in this game, they decided to have two players rush for over 100 yards. But on the offensive side, they continued to struggle. The Eagles managed just 2 first downs in the first half and went 4 straight 3-and-outs, spanning through the second and third quarters. Jalen Hurts threw an interception. He also had a fumble in the game on, yes, the tush push that everybody loves to talk about, which, of course, killed their best chances to take the lead. Saquon, again, only with 13 carries, 56 yards. I forgot what the stat was. I said it last week, but I think if he has more than 15 carries, anything under 15 carries a game, like 0-3, now 0-4. I guess you want to say the only bright spot was the one person who was complaining the most when we were winning, with A.J. Brown, who did have 10 catches for 132 yards and a touchdown. But just overall, the offense is just very much lackluster. It's just bad. There's no way around it at this point. I feel bad to the point where, you never want the game to spill over into somebody's real life, but Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator, did get his house egged. I feel bad, but some of it's warranted. But I hope that these were children that did this, but who knows at this point. We know what goes on in the NFC East and Philadelphia and how passionate their fans are. But even with that being said, the coaching woes continue. And even after that, Nick Sirianni has already defended offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo and stated that they're not changing any play calling. They're not changing the play caller, so he will continuously call plays. I don't know what else he needs to see to take the responsibilities away. I'm honestly surprised he has been fired at this point, but it's starting to look real 2023-ish, with the epic collapse towards the end of the season. We know that there's that stat. No team has won the NFC East 2 years in a row for over 20 years, and that looked like it was going to get broken this year, but there is still an outside possibility that that trend will continue if the Philadelphia Eagles continue to go this way. It was just bad. The run defense also was pretty terrible as the defense has been playing in these last couple of games with the addition of Jalen Phillips. They probably were just tired, to be fair. They have to be out there a lot because the offense really isn't doing anything. So unfortunately for them, they were gashed for 281 rushing yards, which included 255 yards from DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monogny. This was the most rushing yards allowed in a game since 1935. That was a long ass time ago. There were a lot of missed tackles, definitely poor discipline and gaps. It was just bad. Honestly, I would probably give the defense a little bit more of a pass because it hasn't been as consistent as the offense has been this year. And honestly, I just think they were tired. I mean, it's not an excuse, to be fair, because if you're out there, you need to be playing. But it was just bad. I mean, they did have a little bit of bright spots. Jalix Hunt did have an interception that gave Philadelphia the ball at the Bears 36-yard line. But again, like I stated earlier, Jalen Hurts fumbled on a tush push that ended the drive. Chicago converted on that turnover into a touchdown. Basically, would seal the game for them. Jake Elliott also missed an extra point in this game, which would have allowed them to tie the game instead of still being down. Yeah, it was just miscues all around. Like I said, you can definitely point a finger at the offense, but the defense had its issues and the special teams had their issues in this game as well. Yeah, it was just a bad game. They deserve to be booed. I'm sure they know they deserve to be booed, and they're going to get a long time, a longer period of time in between games before they play again. They'll play Monday night against the Chargers. Again, nationally televised game that I hate. But I mean, even this year, the period of time in between games really hasn't seemed to help. A lot of times when you have more days in between, you think they have more time to prepare, but it still hasn't been looking that great. Obviously, Lane Johnson is still out with the injury. And yeah, it's just bad. So I'm trying not to be a Debbie Downer and just say on to the NBA at this point. But at this point, the Philadelphia Eagles are going to have to show up or shut up at this point. Like it is what it is. So again, they'll play the Chargers Monday night. Next, for the Sunday night game that we had, the Commanders played against the Broncos. They lost to the Broncos 27-6 in overtime. Marcus Mariota was 28 of 50, 294 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, 10 carries for 55 yards. Chris Rodriguez Jr. had 11 carries for 41 yards and 1 touchdown. Zach Ertz had 10 receptions, 106 yards. And Terry McLaurin had 7 receptions, 96 yards, and 1 touchdown. And Treylon Burks, 1 reception, 5 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 very nice reception. On the Broncos side, Bo Nix was 29 of 45, 321 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 2 carries for 16 yards. RJ Harvey had 13 carries for 35 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 receptions for 27 yards. Evan Ingram had six receptions for 79 yards, and Cortland Sutton had 5 receptions for 62 yards and 1 touchdown. This was probably the best performance the Commanders had since week 1. They had 419 total yards of offense, 30 first downs, and 143 rushing yards against one of the NFL's top defenses. Again, Marcus Mariota, who's in place, of course, of Jaden Daniels, who still has not been ruled out for the year, but was ruled out for this game. He completed, again, 28 of 50 passes for 294, 2 touchdowns, and added some rushing yards in there. He definitely showed some poise, some clutch moments, especially in the 18-play drive they had to force overtime. Terry McLaurin finally came back after, of course, weeks of injuries and, of course, his off-season or preseason issues as far as his contract. 7 catches, 96 yards, a touchdown. He did have 1 call back as well. So I'm sure they're very, very happy to see him. I'm sure they would love it more to see him paired with Jaden Daniels. But obviously, we know that that's not where they are at this moment. And then, yeah, you showed the picture earlier, Treylon Burks. Definitely one-handed catch. That was his first touchdown grab since 2022. He was a part of the A.J. Brown trade that sent him to, well, it was a draft trade as well, but it essentially sent him to the Titans and A.J. Brown to the Philadelphia Eagles. And then also a lot of, respect for Zach Ertz. He had 10 receptions, 106 yards, which also moved him 5th all-time in tight end receptions. He's been playing for a long time. I don't know if he's going to retire. I would assume that he would want his retirement tour, even though, again, he's not one of the biggest names as far as tight ends. But, again, with his production, 5th all-time in receptions, that's something I think he would deserve. So I'll be interested to see if this is his last season or not. I would assume that he came back this year because they did so well last year, and he had a feeling that they would be able to do it. So maybe he decides to run it back 1 more year since they had a very injury-heavy season this year. But even with all of that being said, their defense also played well. Again, like I said, this was probably the best team game they've had since week 1. They held Denver to 87 rushing yards, 3 yards per carry, which kind of forced Sean Payton to abandon the run a little bit. They forced 4 punts and an interception from Bo Nix. Daron Payne, as well as the other front 7, Although they only had 1 sack in the game, they generated a lot of pressure on Bo Nix. And it really just came down in overtime to a 2-point conversion. Honestly, every time I thought that the Broncos were going to pull it out in overtime, the Commanders held some poise and some resilience, and they were able to get down and actually score. They decided to go for the running run and decided to, instead of playing to tie the game, which, let's be fair, where their record is, it's not really going to hurt or help them either way. So they decided to go for the win. And of course, that pesky Nick Bonito happened to be the one that batted down the ball, which of course sealed the win for them. But again, like I said, it was probably the best game that the Commanders have had this year, or one of the best ones. And I would expect to see Marcus Mariota again next week. But again, you never know. They will be playing the Vikings this Sunday at 1:00. Next, the Thanksgiving Day thing. It was so frustrating because, as most of you may or may not know, my dad is a Cowboys fan. And it was Thanksgiving, so I had to watch it with him, and it was not fun. The Dallas Cowboys defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 31-28. Dak Prescott was 27-39, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 3 carries for -2 yards. Javonte Williams had 17 carries, 59 yards, and 3 receptions for 21 yards and 1 touchdown. Malik Davis had 3 carries, 47 yards, and 1 touchdown, and CeeDee Lamb had 7 receptions for 112 yards and a touchdown. On the Chiefs side, Patrick Mahomes was 23-34, 261 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 carries for 30 yards. Kareem Hunt had 14 carries for 58 yards and 1 reception for 22 yards. Rashee Rice, 8 receptions, 92 yards, 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce, 5 receptions, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. And Hollywood Brown had 2 receptions, 20 yards, and 1 touchdown. Again, Dak has been playing really well this year outside of whatever their record is, the ups and downs that they've had throughout the season. And I think he had another elite performance against the Chiefs. A lot of people want to downplay them because, of course, they're not having the best year, but it's still one of the formidable teams, in the league. And anytime you play against them, you got to give your best at all times. So even if whatever the Chiefs have been going through this year, this was definitely a solid win for the Cowboys. Again, Dak was 27-39, 320, 2 touchdowns, an interception. He wasn't sacked at all. He was definitely able to read through Spagnolia's blitz-heavy scheme, where he was 10 for 11 for 110 yards and 2 touchdowns versus pressure. He was very poised under pressure with a plus 24.7% completion percentage over expected under blitz, which definitely showed a lot in the game. He was able to extend game plays with his legs, honestly, he's been doing pretty much his whole career, but he definitely did it at a high level in this game. Of course, everybody was talking about CeeDee Lamb because in the week prior, he had a lot of drops. He's been having a kind of up and down year in that aspect. Of course, he's had injury early on in the season as well. But yeah, he came up with trying to remind y'all who actually is the number 1 wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. He had 7 catches, 112 yards, and 1 touchdown, plus a clutch 51-yard touchdown, which definitely, 51-yard catch that definitely flipped the field position for them late in the game. But not to be outdone, George Pickens also has 6 catches, 88 yards. And he's out there crashing out, hurdling over people and doing all types of crazy things. Again, contract year, got to do what you got to do. So definitely continuously are at the top of the conversation about the best wide receiver duo in the league. I know for the past couple of years, it's been talk between those wide receivers out in Cincinnati, but we've seen what's been happening in Cincinnati, even though they did pick up a win this week. Yeah, they're right there up there. They definitely had a lot of balance on offense during this week. Dallas rushed for 137 yards with 5.3 yards per carry. And they converted 9 of 15 of their third downs. And a lot of hustle moments as well. Kayvon Turpin, especially, who recovered Pickens' late fumble, which saved the scoring drive towards the end of the game. Their defense, again, continuously, steadily getting better. I like to say they had a bend don't break kind of mentality in this game. Again, you look at the numbers, Patrick Mahomes, 4 touchdowns, 3 carries for 30 yards. A lot of times you think that's going to win the game for them. So the defense definitely held up when they needed to. They sacked Mahomes 3 times, twice by Jadeveon Clowney, and they pressured him all night long, which I think we kind of see is the key to kind of get them rattled, as we've seen in the last couple of Super Bowls. that they lost. The Chiefs did a lot of the times when they lost, the offensive line was just pressured so heavily, and Patrick didn't have enough time to get the ball out. Again, although they still allowed 4 touchdowns, passes, and 402 total yards, with the secondary still a little bit, not 100% there. I think they opened the practice window for Trayvon Diggs as well, who had the concussion. So hopefully for them, maybe he's able to come in and help shore that up a little bit. But yeah, I mean, they're really back in the mix. A lot of people talked about that they would really have to win out. I think I heard one quote of Jerry saying that their best opportunity, in his opinion, is that they win the NFC East in order to get into the playoffs. It's going to be tough for them to get a wild card, but it's definitely not out of the question. But they're definitely going to have to make sure that they have some faster starts. They had another interception on their opening drive. That's 2 weeks in a row. Again, some penalties that didn't come back to kill them too much, but 31-28, definitely close game. So they're going to play this Thursday. So they'll also have another nationally televised game, and they're going to be playing against the Detroit Lions, which is it's just always going to be a tough game, whoever you play. So that'll be an interesting Thursday night game. Last but not least, the game we saw last night. If you saw it, I actually watched the whole thing, which was kind of crazy. The Giants lost to the Patriots 33-15. Jackson Dart was 17-24, 139 yards, one touchdown, 4 carries for 20 yards. Devin Singletary had 12 carries for 68 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 receptions for 34 yards. Darius Slayton had 2 receptions for 41 yards and 1 touchdown. And on the other side, Drake May, 24-31, 282 yards, 2 touchdowns, 6 carries for 12 yards. Travion Henderson had 11 carries for 63 yards, 3 receptions for 19 yards. Hunter Henry had 4 receptions, 73 yards. Kayshon Boutte had 4 receptions for 35 yards and 1 touchdown. And Kyle Williams, 1 reception for 33 yards and 1 touchdown. For the Giants, I mean, the offense just continues to be an issue for them, although they do, again, have some bright spots that kind of pop in and out. Jackson Dart returning from the concussion. I think he forgot that he had a concussion, just started doing whatever he'd been doing these last couple of years of his life playing football. Again, just coming out of concussion protocol, although he was 17-24, 139 yards. He has to learn how to slide. Like, I don't know what it is. He has to stop thinking he is bigger than the program and like somebody won't come clean his clock, which they did multiple times in this game, to the point where his own team had to defend him, which actually caused them a 15-yard penalty when they were actually picking up a first down and completely killed their drive. You get it, you got to stick up for your teammates, but when you go back and look at the tape in practice, you're going to tell them, like, bro, get out of bounds. We've been talking about this all year. You would think coming back from a concussion that he would be more in tune with protecting himself. And it wasn't just that play. There were multiple plays throughout the games when he just get down. I mean, they're 2-11. I think at this point, is it really worth what could possibly set you back further as next year comes along for this? So hopefully he gets that through his head, but it doesn't look like it right now. They definitely had some missed opportunities as well. Tight end Theo Johnson dropped a touchdown. I don't know what Younghoe Koo was doing, tripping over his feet while kicking the field goal is crazy. Their special teams were terrible. Marcus Jones had a 94-yard punt return in there. The Giants allowed 282 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, it's just bad all the way around. Abdul Carter, as a rookie, is being benched for the first series of games for missing team things. Like, it's just a cluster. You know what? In that franchise, they're definitely going to be looking to start all over again. Luckily for them, and luckily for us, they're going to be on a bye this week, so we won't have to worry about them this week. Hopefully they get some rest, and then they'll come back the week after, and they'll have an interdivision game against the Commanders.
Yeah, and what he got suspended to was wild and cannot even be repeated here. Y'all got to get stuff together, Giants. That is Penn State. Y'all got to be proud, boys. Ray, what's going on in the association with the Wizards?
Oh, man. I get to say something I haven't said in a while in regards to the Wizards. Over the last week, they managed to win more games than they lost. Since last Tuesday, they won against the Hawks. They went up to Indiana on Friday, struggled a little bit, lost that game 119-86. but they were back home last night against the Bucks, and they won 129 to 126. That game against Atlanta they just had an out of body experience offensively. CJ McCollum led the way with a season high 46 points, and last night against the Bucks, that was a tough, gritty win for them. Man, might be their best win of the season. It's not much to choose from, but yeah, that was they dug in defensively and got it done down the stretch, which which we rarely see from them. There was a stretch in the third quarter where the game looked like it was about to get away from them, and typically that's the time where they kind of wilt under pressure and fade away. But they were able to regain their composure and get themselves back into the game and find a way to win. Bilal Coulibaly, man, his individual defense on Giannis, Wilson says it's a list of players that love seeing the Wizards, and Giannis is near the top of that list. He looked frustrated for the first time I've ever seen against this team. Just from Bilal's activity and his toughness and his unwillingness to back down. He just made life difficult for him, and it paid dividends. Stat wise, it still looked good for Giannis, but you could tell in his body language that he was facing some resistance he wasn't accustomed to seeing when he comes here. So shout out to Bilal, man, and then CJ down the stretch played the veteran role and closed it out for him. Chris Middleton contributed as well, and they got some contributions off their bench. Julian Champagnie, just his activity, and Marvin Bagley III as well, man. Guys just digging in and doing their jobs. If they can continue to play like that, we could see their fortunes reverse. That was just a game where everybody was in sync on the defensive end, which we've been clamoring for since the season started. They have a lot of pieces, man. They got size and versatility on the wing that could make life difficult for a lot of teams defensively. So if they lock in like they did last night, then they can start to see some wins pile up. Right now they're playing the Philadelphia 76ers up in Philly. They're down 74-63 in the third quarter. It looks like that defense didn't travel as much. But still a lot of game left. They might be able to to come away with the win here. But right now they're struggling just a little bit. Hopefully they can reverse course. But we'll have more for you on that game later tonight in Outlook.
Yours to kick off the college segment.
Yep, GW. They played earlier today, actually, at 11 a.m. up at Army. They pulled out a win through some blizzard conditions, 84-70, pushing their record to 7-2 in a game that was played in a near empty gym due to the blizzard that was going on up north. The Revolutionaries were forced to weather an unexpected barrage from deep as the Black Knights hit 16-39 three-pointers, well above the 29% GW had allowed entering the game, but still managed to keep Army at bay for the final 30 minutes. Rafael Castro, all-conference preseason first-team selection, dunk gave GW his first double-digit edge with 12 minutes left, and at the Army got back within 8 with a bunch of threes. GW responded with a bunch of threes of their own from Ty Bevins and Christian Jones to seal the win. GW also dominated from the free throw line. They made 27-32 to Army's 4-6. Castro finished with a team high 16 points and 7 rebounds, while Jones and Garrett Johnson added 14 points apiece. Big man Luke Hunger added 11 and 7 off the bench. GW will now turn its attention to Saturday as they will host William & Mary. And at halftime, there will be a 50th anniversary celebration honoring the late GW great Yengadari as they re-retire his jersey, bringing back into the Raptors with the new renovated gym. So I expect to see a whole lot of legendary GW alum, especially from those teams in the early 90s where they was going to the Sweet 16. We all know about Ed Myers being one of the top assistants on those great teams. So, it should be a great celebration for the late big man.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. Shout out to them. Definitely remember being down here watching Yinka. Fun times at GW for sure. On to Maryland. I know I shared with you guys last week that they would be in Puerto Rico for Thanksgiving, and that's exactly where they were. The Discover Puerto Rico Classic, the first of which you guys have seen here. Maryland took on Kentucky. They would hand the previous unbeaten Wildcats the first loss of the season, 74 to 66. Maryland started fast using a 10-0 run in the opening period to create some separation. They never really looked back. Kayleen Smichaels continuing to get her legs underneath her. She returns to play full time. She led the way with 22 points. It was her 35th 20-point outing as a member of the Terps. Yana Garzon added 17 points, 12 of which came in the first half, and Addie Mack added 15. It was just the second time these teams have met all time. Maryland won a much closer contest back in their original meeting in 1981. They won that game 83 to 82. Up next, Maryland took on Hofstra. And get that up there for you guys real quick. And Maryland handled their business against Hofstra. They won that one going away 95 to 38. 12 different Terrapins got on the board. Once again, a fast start, an early 10-0 run helped fuel them to the lead, and they didn't look back. They turned Hofstra over 24 times. That led to 39 points. Freshman Maria Boyko would have a career-high 10 points. In this outing, Maryland returns home 9-0 to host Mount St. Mary's on December 3rd. Cardell, what you got for us this week? And take it, leave it, and rapid fire.
All right, we're going to start on take it to leave it side of things. LSU assistant Charlie Weiss Jr., who joined new coach Lane Kiffin with the Tigers earlier this week, will be allowed to return to Ole Miss and serve as the team's offensive coordinator through the college football playoff. Weiss, who has been the Rebels offensive coordinator under Kiffin since 2022, was among several assistants to immediately join Kiffin at LSU, but he will return to Ole Miss and work alongside new Rebels coach Pete Golding and the staff there for the college football playoff. Ole Miss finished the regular season at 11-1, and it's number 6 in the latest college football playoff standings. Quote, with the playoff committee releasing updated rankings tonight, I want to be known that after conversation with LSU, we are allowing Charlie to return to Ole Miss to coach the team during the playoffs. Kiffin said in a statement, I've already made the committee aware of this, and I'm hopeful this decision will allow Ole Miss to receive the highest ranking possible because these great players are very deserving of that. I'm excited that Charlie will be back to help coach the greatest team in the history of Ole Miss. Ole Miss confirmed Weiss' return, listing him alongside Golding, quarterbacks coach Joe Judge, and 6 other assistants for the college football playoff staff. Kiffin had wanted to remain Ole Miss head coach even after taking the LSU job, but was informed Sunday he could not stay on. Ole Miss moved quickly to promote Golding, the team defensive coordinator, as permanent head coach. Weiss has reportedly agreed to a 3-year deal with LSU worth about $6 million. 5 other Ole Miss assistants joined Kiffin at LSU, including co-offensive coordinator and tight ends coach Joe Cox. But Weiss will be the only one returning to Ole Miss for the college football playoff. Weiss first worked under Kiffin at Florida Atlantic, where he served as offensive coordinator in 2018 and 2019. Malik, man, 2-part question. First of all, obviously, what are your thoughts on Kiffin leaving before the season's completely done? And also, his assistant going back to coach at Ole Miss in the college football playoff. 2-part question.
Yeah. So part one to that question, we don't know. Was he forced into saying a public decision before the season was over because of how much media and how much buzz he was getting? LSU, Lane Kiffin, Ole Miss having the best year that they've ever had in a very long time. So we don't know if it was that pressure, or we don't know if he just wanted to announce that he was leaving mid-season at the end of the season right before the college football playoffs, as he did. But we do know that he wanted to come back and coach the kids. So Lane Kiffin, in my opinion, isn't a real super media guy, doesn't really want it all for himself, and everything's not really about him, in my opinion. So if that man said, I don't think he wanted to put it out this early that he was leaving. He's been asked about it before. He said, he's going to worry about the game at hand. He's going to worry about the games at hand, and he'll handle that when he has to handle that. Unfortunately, he had to say that before the college football playoff started, but he did go on record and saying that he wanted to coach the kids. So in my opinion, he was putting the kids first. He wants to coach the kids. He wanted to finish the season, if you had to ask me. When it comes to the assistant coach, I'm happy that they allowed the assistant coach to come back. I really wish that they would allow Lane Kiffin to come back. But if Ole Miss does a great job and Lane Kiffin is there, they're going to say it's about the people that pay the dollar bills to the coaches, to the ADs, things like that. It's going to be in their head. It's going to be a Lane Kiffin thing. It's going to overshadow the program. It's going to overshadow Ole Miss. It's going to overshadow the kids. So that being said, I understand why they didn't bring him back, and I absolutely am very happy that they even the opportunity to allow the offensive coordinator or even some coaches to come back, because at the end of the day, it's really just about the athletes. All the money and the other things like that, the athletes aren't in control of it. They're not in control of LSU offering them $100 million, $150 million. They're not in control of any of those numbers. But the adults in the situation understand what's going on, and some of them are reacting as adults, and some of them are reacting as grown kids.
Octavian. You on mute.
Okay, I was like, I can't take myself off mute for some reason. I just think the whole situation is kind of weird. Like, I definitely agree with Malik that I'm glad that for the kids and the athletes' sake that they're able to have some type of continuity going into the college football playoffs. But something just seems weird to me about the whole situation. I think, and again, like I've said you guys in the past, I'm not the most affluent when it comes to college football, but I think I heard there was something about, recruiting getting ready to get started and the transfer window and all of this other things. So like him trying to get in place to make sure that he's able to get players for the upcoming season next year. It's just a little weird, but I mean, all that ends well, is fine at this point. I feel like it was just very awkward, and I'm you guys could probably tell me better. If something like this has ever happened before, where somebody literally leaves the program and then says, well, actually, I'm going to go back and coach in the playoffs, and then go back to the other team. And so to me, that's just weird. But in the aspect of the athletes, the kids that, shouldn't have to suffer in those situations, I'm happy for them. That's probably the most.
Right.
Yeah, I'm with Octavia, man. The whole thing was just kind of clumsy. Like I don't understand why he had to leave immediately. Yeah, that part of it just doesn't jive with me, man. Like they have more games to play. Like your season isn't over. But it at least they will have some familiarity going into their playoff. Glad they allowed the other coach to come back, but even still, like I don't know how the kids feel about that. They could be on some if you gone and stay gone type stuff. So I don't know, man. Again, yeah, this whole thing is very clumsy and weird. Like I feel like this could have been done in a better way.
Wilson.
Yeah, I'm kind of with everyone else. It's just kind of weird. One, like you shouldn't be allowed to take. Like it's weird that you're accepting in-season offers while you're currently coaching. That's first of all. Secondly, if that's par for the course or whatever. If you're Ole Miss, I don't understand how not letting him finish the job you hired him to do helps in this moment. It's just kind of weird. You might as well let him. You're paying him anyways until until the year's over. You might as well let him earn the rest of his check. But egos or whatnot, I get that. But college sports is the wild, wild west, man. We've been saying it year after year over the past few years. Also, like Ole Miss, do you not remember who you hired? Do you not remember how he came to be your coach? Because you were cool with it then. This like one of the things that Lane always does, and I'm not saying it's right, but it's precedent. He rarely he stays accepting a new job before the whole job is finished. It's kind of his thing. But yeah, it's just I'm not shocked. It's just a little weird. And then my thing is, if that's your position, then why let somebody else on the staff come back? Like, or is you just mad that Lane left? Because like they left to go with Lane too. So why is it okay that they come back and coach, but Lane can't?
Yeah, I just think it's a reflection of what's going on in college all around. It's just a transactional deal now from players and coaches. For the players that came to play for Lane, like really genuinely, I just want to play for Lane Kiffin. I feel for them. But also, this is why, as an athlete, when you're being recruited, you got to recruit the coaches too. He has a history of doing this. So you should know, like, this is a high possibility of this happening before you commit and come. So you won't be, disappointed in it. But it just shows it's, right now it's just limited loyalty both ways. And, I feel for the kids who genuinely was just there to get better, play for Lane and all that. Because, they were blindsided. It is what it is, but that's what he does. You can't knock that. The players do it as well. I also feel like the administration acted like kids. Seems like more that it's because Lane left for, the in conference, type of deal thing, the program in conference. Man, get the hell out, man. It's just that type of deal. We don't want you, but you allow the assistant to come back, which is silly. So, do they really have the athlete's best interests at heart? And that's just the state of where we are, man. It's just an unfortunate thing. Like, I agree with what Ray said. All y'all agree to. It's just very messy. It's just like it seems like the only individuals moving professionally right now are the athletes. And this is also another reminder when guys, I'm talking about players who are projected to be in the NFL draft, they say, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to pull out, start preparing for the next step, and people get mad. You got to kind of look at the Lane Kiffins of the world and understand why if they could do what's best for them, you can't get mad at me for doing what's best for me. You know what I mean? So I can be ready for the next level and change my family's fortunes and stuff like that and do what I love to do at the highest level, man. So I think, man, you're going to probably see more of this coming. Maybe not as much in college football. You could say the recruiting calendar, man, but man, all the top programs recruiting the same kids. That don't matter. That's just a scapegoat type of deal. That's BS. He knew he wanted a job. He trying to get the hell up out of there, so he ain't to deal with that vitriol that was gonna come. You know what I mean? And that's all that is, man. But it's just a very messy situation, and hopefully, it won't start to leak into other sports crazy like it is in football, man. But football got that oil money, especially in the SEC, so it's a different type of situation, man. But yeah, I feel for the kids mostly, man. You know what I mean? Because it's like, all right, we might as well play for ourselves, but at the same time, as a former athlete that has been through it, where you come to play for a certain coach and he ups and leaves, I understand the feeling of being blindsided, and now you got to pick up the pieces and just try to roll with the punches type of deal. Moving forward, general manager Joe Schoen is in year 4 of the Giants, and they are currently 2-11, and have won 5 games over the last 2 seasons. Schoen released a statement, obviously saying not good enough. The Giants go to their bye week on a 7-game losing streak. With rookie quarterback Jackson Dart taking another unnecessary hit in Monday's night 33-15 loss to the Patriots. And the number 3 overall pick of Duke Carter being benched for the second time in 3 games for tardiness. They've dropped 13 consecutive road games dating back to last season. Schoen said that Carter was a 21-year-old young man thrown into life in a big city. Quote, people make mistakes, Schoen said, but he was confident in the rookie edge rusher's future despite the recent slip-ups. Schoen was also especially complimentary of Dart, who he said was on his radar before former coach Brian Daboll got involved in the scouting process. That together landed on him as their quarterback of the future back in April. Schoen said the perception has been that Dart was Daboll's guy. Anytime you're going to make a decision on the first-round quarterback, that's going to be an organizational decision, Schoen said. It's an organizational decision. Malik, going back to you, man. What are your thoughts on the Giants and the situation, man?
Yeah, the Giants are one of those organizations you just gotta sell it and burn it. It doesn't get better no matter who you bring in, who you bring out. Is just actually all the organizations in the NFL related to New York need to be just sold and burned. It's not a player. Well, it's not a player's issue. You bring the guys in. That you can't. It's not like the NFL is developing athletes to bringing them. You know what their tape is. You know what type of guys you're bringing in. They're not bringing in the guys that win games. They're not bringing in the coaches that know how to put it together. And just everything that's going on with New York is just not. They don't have it. I'm gonna say they just don't have it. The Abdul Carter situation. He's 21 years old. He's a young guy in a big city. I get that point. Why is that not all his fault? You are a professional indeed. Where's the veteran leadership? But it is his fault at the end of the day. Where's the veteran leadership? The veteran leadership is brought in by the guys that are in New York, that are coaching them, that are paying them. It's all a circular effect of one not helping the next. And just some people just don't got it. And a lot of people in New York just don't got it.
Octavian, what's up with your new team?
Just throw the whole thing away. Like, including Joe Shane. You can go too, sir. Like, to get up there and have a press conference like you're not part of the problem is insane. Like literally insane. The fact that they fired the head coach and not the head coach and the general manager, knowing that now the general manager is going to hire a coach that not necessarily, not saying that they will or they won't like Jackson Dart, but you're going to have another coach coming in with not his guy. It's just all backward. Poor John Mara. Like, well, I can't say poor John Mara because he's rich, so screw that. But I'm leaving everything that's affiliated with the New York Giants. Like, everything, Meadowlands, whatever they call it, MetLife now, everything out there is just terrible. You said 5 games in the last 2 seasons. And to add insult to injury that I just realized like a couple days ago, y'all do know that they doing Hard Knocks in the season on the NFC East, right?
What?
So So all of the nonsense that's been going on this year with AJ Brown, the Giants being terrible, and Jackson Dart and the Russell Wilson of it all, the unfortunate situation with Marshawn Nealon and Jerry Jones letting go of Micah. All of this is getting ready to come to your TVs very shortly. I actually think it's today. I'm not 100% sure, but I actually think the first episode is today. So, I don't know why the Giants keep signing up for this stuff. I know sometimes they don't have an option. But yeah, I'm leaving anything that's related to the New York Giants.
Right. I mean, what's up with y'all peoples in the NFC East, man?
Yeah, they got to burn that down, man. It's been bad over there for a while, and it's not getting any better. Yeah, they just gonna have to ride it out. It's they going through the storm right now. So yeah, like Octavia said, man, they just tear it down. I don't know why this guy still has a job, but such is life. But the further they go along this same path, the longer it's going to take to dig out of it. What's your favorite saying, Wilson? Push the button.
The button in that area of the country no longer works, sir. They have to build a new button. There's no button in there. There's no juice, no button, no power, nothing.
Drop a nuke or let the media hit or do something. Because they struggling, man.
Wilson.
Yeah, I don't have much to add, but that's crazy to get up there talking about some. I was in on this quarterback too. You talk about the one who was out here like Bobby Boucher, getting the snot knocked out of him every 10 seconds on the sideline. That's who you want to take credit for is kind of crazy. Also, sir, the Giants have 2 winning seasons in the last 10 years, which is what it is in itself. That's not all you. You've only been here for the last 3. But let's focus on you since you want to get up there and, in your quarter zip and talk about credit. So you're 18-34-1 as a general manager. The first year, 9-7. 9-7-1. I'm sorry. Can't forget the one. First year, 9-7-1, reached the playoffs. Year 2, 6-11. Year 3, 3-14. This year, 2-8. Sir, you are headed in the wrong direction. You need to take a page out of what's my man who used to be here? Was it Ernie? We just don't need to see you vanish.
Anybody's book. Just take a page out of anybody's book.
We need people to have to Google who the GM is. Like, I wouldn't be seen. Well, you got worse every year. And you up here looking for credit? That's crazy. And it's New York. Like, I don't know how much longer you think you're about to have that job, but that's cool that, you got to get your stuff off in this press conference. So congrats to you. But again, you're 2-8. So there's a chance if nothing changes this year, you literally you did the opposite of what team is supposed to do when they start over with a new regime. You got worse every year. So every year you got away from the previous regime's players, you got worse. Congrats, sir.
Yeah, I'm with everything y'all said. But it's just glaring that your first round pick is being benched twice in 3 weeks for being late. Like that if that's not a reflection on where your organization is, like, dog, a rookie, and it's New York City. There are many ways to commute, and you're the Giants. Y'all got juice. I ain't gonna. Let me take that back. Y'all have resources, not juice. We're not gonna do that. Y'all have resources. If he's running into trouble or something, I'm pretty sure y'all can get a cop and move everybody away so he can get to the arena, man. It happens all the time. We just don't hear about it. That you just don't hear that, man. Like, you just don't hear that about a first round. It's rare, man. Like, especially in the NFL where they cut you. I mean, come on, man. They do all pros dirty. So, yeah, man. You know what? Keep that over there in the NFC. I'm loving life over there in Denver. Be back at it. I'm good. Don't bring that. Don't hire nobody from that organization. Keep that over there, and everything all good, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. We're gonna move on to rapid fire before we get up out of here. The 2025 all season came and went without Ben Simmons finding a team. He now appears to have a destination very much in mind. The former first overall pick saw his career hit a low last year with his release by the Brooklyn Nets and an unproductive stay with the Los Angeles Clippers. He remains a free agent and indicated interest to return to Philadelphia. When he liked the Instagram comment saying he'd be a good fit for the team last week. He further demonstrated his interest on Tuesday when he responded to a question about the Sixers by saying he played there for free while alluding to other issues such as his health. Simple question, man. Would you even look the way of Ben Simmons at this point in time? Ray, we're going to start with you, man. If you're Philly.
Absolutely not. I don't know what his aim is or what he's trying to do, but it's been years of infutility at this point. They're going through some things as well. They're trying to kind of head in a new direction. I just see no benefit in entertaining this at all.
Octavian.
There shall be no spinning the block on Ben Simmons, sir. Have several. Absolutely not. I don't even know why he would want that for himself. To be fair, like I understand the basketball side of it, but I'm even step outside of the basketball side of it. I literally just said that the Philadelphia Eagles fans egg Kevin Pachulo's house, bruh. They're gonna be at your door if you ever think you setting foot back in there. Ain't happening, bro. Good luck in whatever else your endeavors are. I don't know if he's ever going to play in the league again. Not saying that he won't. It should not, and it should not be in Philadelphia. Like ever. You better go overseas somewhere, back to Australia or something. I don't know. Ain't he from Australia? He Australian or something?
Wilson.
Yeah, man. There's basketball being played in other parts of the world. That's probably your best bet, and that's the kindest thing I have to say about all this, sir. You are literally one of the many poster children as to why rosters are being built how they're being built, sir. Because you know, people used to give people like you a lot of money. People like you did or didn't do things when you were receiving said monies. So now, the only people getting that amount of money are the people that are definitely earn it, where you're almost paying them because it's kind of cheap, and everyone else is on a rookie deal. If you're caught in the middle, that's tough. But you're one of the reasons this apron stuff happens, sir. Congrats.
Elite.
Yeah, it's like when people try to go back to their ex for that last time, just trying to figure out if there's still a spark left. There's no spark. There's no spark.
There's no blocks for him.
His days of taking NBA dollars might be coming to an end, like you all said, but there are definitely a lot of opportunities where people don't know his story. People don't know what he doesn't do when the ball is in his hands, and you could try his storyline, and somewhere it's like WWE. You go to another brand, rebrand yourself, get yourself together. But I don't think it's a lot of the teams in the NBA are competing right now, and he just brings the storylines of we're not competing and we got to figure out what you got going on. And none of the teams really need that right now.
The answer is no. That's over. If people are paying attention to the upcoming draft, the projections, there are like 25 dudes that are like you. They can do but do more, that are rookies, that are 6'8", 6'9". Burstow could do everything you could do, and they would shoot the ball. And they won't, and they're young. Like they can stay open mind. They don't have the baggage. They're not delusional. They weren't entitled. That's the main reason why you're not in the league. That's the main reason, man. Like, don't nobody got time for that, man. You had 2 opportunities last year to prove yourself. That was the opportunity to stay in the league. I can't even think of an impactful game you had. Like, not one. Like, you were on the Nets too. Like they said, you were on the Nets. I remember you more so with the Clippers, trying to be a defensive anchor point forward. It didn't work out. You're the reason why the Nets had 5 first-round picks. You're part of the reason for that. Like, come on now. Like, it's just now you saying you're saying all the right things because I'll play for free and all that. Yeah, man. When them NBA checks start coming in, reality starts sinking in quick, man. It starts sinking in quick, bro. And the thing is, you're young, so it's like, what do I? You can tell he's trying to figure it out, but you burn so many bridges in a way by being unprofessional, man. And look, and we all on the show for the most part sympathize with you after that playoff game where they called you out. That was wrong, and I'm always saying on that. You don't do that publicly. Do that behind closed doors, man. And to be fair, none of the parties involved career with trajectory as far as winning and dominating at the same time was quite the same after that. Even after he left, Embiid got MVP, but look how his body is broken down. Doc's been a couple places. Like it was just an ugly situation that played out in the public. You do that behind closed doors. You never do that to each other in public, because especially in this social media era, people gonna take that thing and run with it. And he gonna be 80 years old, and that clip gonna be playing somewhere, and his grandkids gonna see it. It's just a terrible situation. So, but nah, man, it's time to face with facts, face reality, bro. Like, what team would take a flyer on you? I'm just within this apron world. You're right. If somebody did take a flyer on you, you will probably have to play for free, because people are not going to pay top dollar for you. And then what's all alternative? Minimum. Then at the end of the day, what do you bring it to the table again? Cool, you might be a willing defender, but in this pace and space NBA, you're gonna have to shoot the ball. My man, you won't even shoot layups, dog. Like what can we at 6'10"? So you like, dog, come on, man. It's sad, man. But that mental thing for an athlete is everything, man. You can have all the physical tools, but if you're not strong and on point up there, man, athletes can really be broken and never fixed again, man. We've seen it happen time and time again, man. And I think that's what happened to him after that playoff battle, man. So, hey, man, hopefully he finds something, but I'm with y'all, man. His best bet, man, we have to go overseas, or if he really desired to get back in the league, hey, go play in the G League and prove yourself. You're going to have to grind for it. Now, you saying all the right things, I'll play for free. I'm pretty sure a G League team will take a try. Come on now. Yeah, see what you got. See if you can build yourself back up. Will your ego allow you to do that? Remains to be seen.
Yeah. Do you have another question, Cardo, for night, or closing things out?
Yeah, we can close it out. We got, other business. Oh, no. One more. Yeah, we got to talk about this. Paul Pierce.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas, Danny Green. I don't know what's going on, man, with these podcasts, man. They all stated that Michael Jordan had a limited bag. Gilly went up so far as to say Michael Jordan bag was from the 1980s. He didn't have a crossover and barely went behind his back. He had moves that were effective for his era against those defenders. Paul Pierce and Danny Green pretty much said that, he had a limited bag because they argued that he didn't need counters because he could get to his spots in 2 dribbles. Kobe, they said SGA had a bit better bag, and Kobe had to use more footwork because he faced bigger wings and tougher defenses. Oh man, Ray, we're gonna start with you, man. What are your thoughts on these fellas?
My first thought is they should. I mean, if anybody has ever texted me or seen me on social media, they know my favorite 4 letters in the alphabet is STFU, and that's what they need to do. Like, why are we debating anything offensively with Michael Jordan? Literally the greatest scorer by every measure in basketball history.
Yeah, he is, Malik. Yeah. He ain't stutter. Yup. Go ahead, Ray.
And then, in all this bag stuff, if I don't need to cross over 10 times to put the ball in the basket, why would I? I don't understand why that takes precedence over results. So I don't know, man. Maybe they're just trying to get views or something. And Gilbert Arenas talk about those moves were effective against that era, as if anybody had a chance to stop him in any era. And Danny Green,
Why you even
I've never seen you dribble. You catch and shoot. So what are you even talking about? But yeah, man, I'm so tired of this. They move on to something else. Like, the result speaks for themselves. The dude did what he did, and until somebody matches it or exceeds it, just leave him out of all conversations, because there's so much film to negate everything you've said. So I don't even know why they go down this road.
Malik, young fella, you got to get some stuff off your chest. Go ahead.
When it comes to certain conversation, Danny Green, Gilbert, none of the people on the podcast talking about Michael Jordan can stop him from scoring the basketball. Nor are any of those guys better at scoring the basketball. Certain people, you can't be considered the best, but then it's like, I don't feel like it goes like I think Kevin Durant's, in the conversation, but that's not this question. But, I just don't feel like, Kevin Durant's better than him or he's better than Kevin Durant. But he's better than all those guys, to answer this question. They shouldn't, yeah. Certain people, you just got to leave them out of conversation. And for sure, he didn't have 57 counters. He had enough to put the ball in the basket. If he played in this age, he would have all the counters they have to put the ball in the basket. So it wasn't like he couldn't move his lateral or anything like that his body didn't allow him to do. He did what he needed to do for his period of time, and they still thought he was breaking every rule and doing everything. So he would have enough. At any era, some guys just have enough. He has enough.
Octavian.
A few things. One, this has to be rage bait. So I think it's definitely a part of something on their podcast. Two, turn all the podcast cameras and microphones off. I don't want to hear them talk anymore. And just because I don't or I didn't doesn't mean I can't. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, you guys have already laid it out. It's not like if you could sit here and tell me that you don't think he could ever do it, you're crazy as hell. And yeah, I'm done. Like, they don't even deserve this much breath from us to even refute what they're talking about, to be fair. But they can go on with their rage baiting.
Mr. Wilson.
I got nothing, man. I was done with Gil earlier in the week with firing shots at Ray Allen already, so I have nothing to add. We gotta stop it, man. I know y'all bored. You got nothing else to do. I wish y'all put this much energy into your craft when y'all were playing. Then we'd have more to talk about. But please stop. Like, it's the stupidest thing.
Go coach your kids or something. Jeez.
Like, do something, man. Like,
they all got kids playing in the league or something. I don't think Paul got no kids. But Gilbert, go. You got daughters and sons. Jeez, go to a game.
I don't care. Nieces and nephews, do something. Put the mic down. Right. Paul, you wouldn't even guard the Wizards version, like the most broken down version of MJ. You didn't want any smoke. So, like, and we can have it on. Like, this is the thing that's so stupid to me is it's 2025. Like, that was only like he got a league 84. Like, those clips, those aren't even grainy. Like, why are y'all saying this stuff? You don't even got to go into a deep AI search or anything. Like, y'all are just doing too much, man. Stop it. I had this. Shut up. It also, like, things that don't make sense. Y'all will talk about that, man, but y'all love y'all some Kobe. Kobe ain't do nothing but cosplay that man. And I mean it the most respect, like, and I'm not trying to knock Kobe, like, from the most respectful place in the world, because think of what Kobe accomplished by cosplaying the original.
He said he did. Right there on The Last Dance, the whole world saw it. He said it many times. I copied him. I don't even like talking about who will be better. He said that. What you see from me, I got from him.
So y'all went on. Y'all like to pick and choose and ignore people's words when y'all throw people up to make conversations. So if the dude y'all love, who said he has a deeper bag than the guy he said he copied, come on, y'all. I know all y'all didn't finish college and everything, but 1 + 1 is 2. Stop. Just stop it, man. We got to stop this. Like, Ray got to talking crazy. Gil got to talking crazy about Ray and all this other stuff. And can y'all just stop? Like, just stop, sir. Just please stop. Just let all the madness go, man. Like, I love Shai's game, and that's great. He plays like a 90s guard. It's why we love his game. It's fun to watch. That said, but again, we're saying he plays like a what guard? Then shut up. Think about it. I'm praising him because it reminds us of something we love and hold dear, because his game compared to this crap looks like the thing that we all grew up loving. In his game, if Shai is copying something that he grew up with and murdering you all with it, again, man, I'm not too great at math, but if somebody who was actually doing the stuff, what's he going to do? Also, with all the evolution, all the scores and everything else, anybody run up that 10 scoring title thing yet?
Not even close.
We still waiting, right? All right, man, could we please stop? Just leave that man alone. I know y'all bored. You need something to talk about. like I tell you said, it's straight rage bait, but y'all gotta stop it. Like, yo, that's twice last week. I guess the Ray Allen one didn't make enough noise for you, so you fired at Mike afterwards. Because you said what you said about Ray, and I think people looked at you and was like, shut up. And it didn't make enough noise for you. So then I guess you got together with Paul and was like, let's raise our sights higher. Like, y'all gotta stop it, man. It's just you didn't even guard the one-legged dude on the Wizards, Paul. He was giving you work, and Lord knows what Kobe did to you. Why are you talking, sir? That's crazy.
And to piggyback on what you just said, Wilson, about the one-legged version, he was giving the Nets 51, giving Kenyon Martin, the one that was just in that debate about the best defender between him and Draymond, Kenyon Martin giving them dudes the blues. Kidd got it, Richard Jefferson got it. They were the number one defensive team, best team in the East. They went to the finals, right? That New Jersey Nets team sent Paul Pierce home. So the older version of Jordan was giving the best team in the East work, and you couldn't quite do it. But you say he had a limited bag. So if his bag was limited like that, he wouldn't have been able to operate like that at 40. And also, what does that say about your bag? Which should be more of an emphasis. But again, man, y'all pretty much laid it out. My thing is, it's dangerous with this, and this is why I always kind of push back against it, because not necessarily like Malik's age, but around his age, they start to just disregard past errors. And I'm like, what do you gain from that? It's a lot to be learned from that. I love Shea. This is no knock against Shea. Shea, do your thing, bro. But it ain't hard to operate in today's world with the lack of defense that's going on, man. It's not just me saying it like I'm some old school dude. No, it ain't that. Listen to the coaches coaching the teams currently in the NBA. They are complaining like every post-game press conference. Like, dog, we got to play better defense. If they don't play better defense, they're not going to play. So it ain't much difficulty to really put the ball in the basket today. Also, we grew up in a time where efficiency mattered. You had to be efficient in every aspect of the game to score. So, yeah, you couldn't do all the dancing. Like, right, and I know all y'all, Octavia, you a little bit younger, but y'all get this. We grew up in the A1 mixtape generation. We couldn't play like that for our coaches and stuff. They would bench the hell out of us quick. Like, but that don't mean we didn't have it in our game. You play pickup, you can see dudes trying to lean each other like nothing you ever seen before. But when we get back in our organized situation, high school, AAU, college, you got to put that on hold. You got to play an efficient brand of basketball because they're not going for all their tricks. So that was with us. So imagine in the 80s when Michael Jordan playing for Dean Smith. He damn sure couldn't do all that. But at the end of the day, in that era, in the era we grew up in, it's called, old heads used to call it getting to the money. Why do you want to waste all that effort and energy doing all that when you don't need to? If this guy's too slow for you, I'm just going to go past you and score all day till y'all adjust. If you backing off me, I'm going to hit the jumper till you figure something else out. And if you don't, it's just going to be a long night for you. Why am I going to complicate this thing? Why do you usually do the dancing on great defenders? Because the first couple options don't work. So as weak as the defenders are in today's game, if you need to hit 4 or 5 dribble combinations to get by guys today, what does that really say? That means your scoring ain't that potent. Now, Malik, I do agree. Kevin Durant is definitely in the conversation, the greatest scorer of time, for sure. The efficiency, the longevity, ain't no doubt about it. But really, the only aspect he better than Jordan is 3-point shoot and free throw percentage, right? That's it. but Jordan's better mid-range, posting up, transition, moving without the ball. There's a lot of other factors that go defensively, causing turnovers and getting out ahead. And it's a lot of lob threat. It's a lot of other ways to put the ball in the basket that might exceed him, which is why I say he's the greatest player of all time when you really break down every phase of trying to score. That's what we're saying. So, like, people need to relax on that no bag, and then you put out the clips and he up here dancing, dropping dudes with in and outs and stuff. When you had the physical tools he had, and when you get 6'6", 7-foot wingspan, 40-inch vertical, the Dr. J hands, the dog, I don't need to play with you. It's gonna be a long night for you. And you coming at guys like how Allen Iverson just constantly don't give up. And you as quick as AI on top of that. my Lord, like, dog, I don't need to do all this. A couple moves in his efficiency. It wasn't just scoring the ball efficient, his footwork, the angles, the spins. Nothing was wasted movement with that dude. He was the ultimate scorer. And if you know the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So, yes, even and I consider myself a hell of a defender growing. That's where he actually got me job offers to play professional, right? On top of the offensive stuff, but that's the key. Hey, the 1 through 5 thing, I like that from him. I love when guys would dance and stuff like that. That meant I was doing my job. That meant you had to work extra hard to get by me. It was a mother that was efficient, like Jordan. They get to it. They get, hey man, I got to really lock in, because if I guess wrong or I'm not in position, I'm done. They're gonna light me up. Those are the guys that are the most dangerous, man. Like KD, for instance, he's the best to this area. To me, he's the greatest scorer. It's not even close, because he don't need a lot. He like that playoff game with him and Pat Bev and you know all that, and they were saying they was locking him up, and he got mad and was like, "Yo, I'm Kevin Durant. Y'all know who I am." And he came back and pretty much gave them boys 40 from the elbow, and had Lou and Pat Bev in the post game. Like, dog, I promise you, we tried. We had 7 different defenses for him, and none of it worked. That's some humbling, and he didn't even move from the block, dog. I mean, from the elbows, dog. That's efficient world-class scoring, and that's the highest level you can get to, because that requires a lot of damn work to be that damn good, where I don't even got to move from a spot. But y'all boys in for a long night. That ball going to the basket regardless of the guy in front of me. You send doubles, you send triples, blindside traps, you know, anything. Trent, I'm lighting y'all up, man. And that's what Mike did all the time. That's why he got them 10, and that's why he's the all-time leading scorer by average in the regular season and the playoffs. And his playoff average is more than the regular season in an era where they could literally fuck you up. So why are we having this? Talking about them 1980 moves and stuff like that, man, against those defenders. I'm like, come on, dog. Yet the leading scorer and all that are using those 1980 moves to light up today's guards, and they don't even have a clue what they're looking at. Leave Mike alone, man. He over here fighting NASCAR cases, man. He ain't bothering nobody, man. Let that man live, dog. He trying to get NASCAR stripes, man. Let him live, dog. And here's the other thing, last point. A couple of them dudes say LeBron's the greatest player of all time. He don't have no damn bag. So if it ain't a problem for him, why is it a problem when it comes to Mike? That don't even add up. Yeah, man, they just needed some viewership, bro. I guess they getting bored talking about actual basketball. But go ahead, Wilson.
Please, just leave the podcast game. Leave it the same way y'all left yours. Players quietly just go. I will be so grateful, because I can't do it. It took so much, man. They went to go mess with Walter, and then they mess with Mike. I'm like, come on, man, what y'all doing? Like, what are we even messing with? You messing with people who don't even talk. Like, leave people.
Life, just live their life, man.
Just go on about their business. But we appreciate y'all as always. We'll see y'all next week, same time, same place. Y'all have a great week. Don't forget to get over to the channel. A lot of different programming going on. So we will see you guys soon.